Here it is, ninth lesson. Again, we changed, sorry, but we are changing so many things that we had to. Really sorry. As you see in London today, not a glorifying day. And with what I want to start this time, I want to push her a little more into her awareness of how to do and find things. So I will ask her to do the Soffietti and then to sing directly.
Okay.
Not very, no, something challenging that is fell in love with a boy because she has not yet the correct attitude to have it directly. So with a not warm voice, she has to make some choices. And it's the same kind that you have to, if you want really to find where to start, because it will be the choices you will do when you have a problem, not a problem, a cold in the voice. It will be your starting point of choices. And I want her to make the correct choices on that automatically. Automatically means that you are stressed, you have a problem, you choose that. And we are going to train that today. But before Soffietti, I made a tutorial for you, if you don't remember. Yeah, she's here. Not glorious and light today. So, how was it, Soffietti? Do you remember?
Yeah.
A little...
Yeah.
How was it? Let me show me.
Okay.
It is different, the sound.
Yeah.
Because it's different what I'm doing.
Alright.
The sound is always different, also when you put the vocal folds. So sometimes they're the vocal folds, sometimes it's what you're doing, very often.
Okay.
What was the starting point, the most important?
The starting point.
Yeah. It has to get straight or it has to get round somewhere?
No. It has to be like
Yeah, from where?
from here.
From here it will be difficult. It can be eventually the wheel of the breathing that is like that all the time.
Yeah.
You perceive just that part. Sometimes you perceive that. If you do classical, you perceive all. If you don't do classical, it depends on the style you do. And if you use more support than appoggio, or more appoggio than support. Okay? There it was round from the back of the throat. And not done with the lips and not done with the tongue. Of course, your abdomen not has to get out, but now you start knowing that I'm not really happy with that. So it was what you did, but starting around from the really back deep of the throat. Ooh, really? Sometimes it does, sometimes no. And then when we end, we adjust to end, or we make the pause, and then we let the breathing in, and then we suspend, and then we get back doing that. That 4 times. 4 cycles complete. Start. Pause. Going out. No, don't close. Again out. Again out. Exactly. Again out. And now let in. It's not so passive letting in, okay?
No.
No. Okay. No, wait. You have to wait. You can't interrupt. No, you can't. I say that all the time. I really get not happy if you interrupt. Because if you interrupt, you are not finding what you are looking for. You must be able to remain in one thing. While you're doing a concert, you can't do that. So if you don't train that, you will never be able to do in a concert. Or you will be able after doing some really bad things for some concerts. So you can play, we can talk, we can say, you don't interrupt. Okay? So we start back. Till the end. Till the end. Don't interrupt. And now long, and now you let in. And you wait. And you just wait into your posture. Because it wants to get down. You remain into the posture. You feel on the left side that, I want to get down. No, you remain there. You're ready to get out, and you go out. Don't interrupt. And long, and you let in. And you take the posture, and you remain into the posture. Because you have to train that also without singing. If you wait just for singing, it will be 3 lives and you will not have finished. And you wait. And now it gets calmer again after the ah! And we have to get in that state to get back to quiet. And then out. You're not doing sofietti. Interrupt it. And again sofietti. No, I want... Exactly. And now you let in. Don't change the form while you let in. You feel that when you let in, you put out, you have a shape, and then to let in, you completely get in the opposite of this shape. Now remain there. And now out. Sofietti. They are not sofietti. Psh, 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 psh. And then you let in. And you remain with that shape. And then out sofietti. And then you relax. You must be very controlled in what you do. Not pushing too much. Pushing in the brain, yeah. Pushing not to have bad habits, yeah. Yeah, I'm really bad about. Because when it's just laziness, no, you can't sing with laziness. Then you go over the laziness and you're ready. When you're ready, we're very gentle. Not for the, no, it's the same. It's not the same. Yeah. Look at everybody who is good around in something. They are even worse than me. It's not the same. And we're very serious about it because it's the only way to do not shitty things all the time without any care. Remember Lady Gaga, remember etc. They are, no with the dancer, no, it must be that. We are totally, really not nice in that. No, we are totally nice to the public. Yeah. It's the only way to be nice to the public. So, you felt there, and it was hurting a little. Yeah. I know. I know. Just when it starts that, it's some sort of uncomfort, not really pain. The uncomfort are the shaping of the bad habits. Okay. When we get there, we are very gentle, and we don't push too much. But we want to get there. So to get there, we must be not lazy. And when we get there, we totally are so sweet and so relaxed, and we really take care of that part that has a bad shape. And being very gentle, we will move it according to how it is. But the laziness is to get there, okay? That's why I have double way. The first is quite harsh, the second is very sweet. Because we want to be sweet to the voice all the time. But to get sweet to the voice, we must be harsh with lazy. Then we start, we try.
I fell in love with a boy. I fell in love once and almost completely. He's in love with the word, and sometimes this feelings can be so misleading. He turns and says, are you alright? Oh, must be fine, cause my heart's a beating. Come and kiss me by the riverside. Sarah says, cause she don't consider it cheating. Red hair with a curl, man a rule for the flavor, and the eyes would be pale. Can't keep away from the boy. Two sides on my brain, need to have a meeting. Can't think of anything to do. My left brain knows all your love is splitting. Here just looking for something new. I said it once before, but it bears repeating. Can't think of anything to do. My left brain knows all your love is bleeding. You're just looking for something new. I said it once before, but it bears repeating. with a boy. I fell in love once and almost completely. He's in love with the word, and sometimes his feelings can be so misleading. He turns and says, are you alright? Oh, I must be fine, cause my heart's a beating. Come and kiss me by the riverside. Sarah says, cause she don't consider it cheating. Don't go telling no more, don't go telling no more, don't go telling no more lies on Sarah.
Make some
Don't go
noise.
telling no more, don't go telling no more, don't go telling no more lies on Sarah. And
Again.
can't think of anything to do, but that brain knows all your love is fleeting. He's just looking for something new. I said it once before, but it best repeats it.
Change it.
And
Change it. Always from here. And from here again. Look at.
And I'm gonna tell you what's on my mind.
And now push from here.
I'm gonna tell you what's on my mind.
And you can push again. From here.
Cause it bears repeating.
Exactly. You found that what we were working behind the laziness was exactly what gave you the solutions for there.
Yeah.
I know it will, perhaps because it's the first time we really arrived there, perhaps it will a little hurt tomorrow or the day after. It is like when you go to an osteopath.
Okay.
It unblocks something, you get back with inflammation nearly at the same level of when it was blocked, and then you're alright. Okay? I can take the freedom to do that to you and to all the ones I do that, because I know perfectly that you will suffer 1-2 days maximum.
Alright.
No, maximum means maximum. Sometimes it's just an uncomfort, sometimes can be a little more, and then it goes away forever, and we have that back.
Alright.
You feel that you didn't need too much throat,
Yeah.
and it was there that it was producing all this fire you put into. At the end it was just to rest, because you had no idea what to do. You get in there and you find, and it was good, totally good. When I told you don't worry about the sun when you get up, in a couple of times you did, and it was excellent, really excellent. To me now it's correct, because it is, as you felt, not too heavy
Yeah.
for you, because you can't sing that if you really remain into a mezzo-soprano thing, and you have that lightness that sometimes you use, that is a lightness that is more close to a soprano than a mezzo-soprano, but it was with the mezzo-soprano way of finding it. And I love this kind, because this will not take away the support, will not take away the appoggio,
Yeah.
will not take away your vocal folds. It's just you taking a freedom from your voice to do something. Yeah, really agree about that. We're really happy about that. And it's fun, and it's nice, and it's groovy.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter at all how
Yeah.
it sounds your voice.
Yeah.
It was something quite interesting.
Yeah.
So that's it. Sophia is quite fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you do just one, you will not get to those points. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's more subtle in other places, because it just works in the system, so you can have a correct support. So when you have a problem for which you didn't have all the support you needed, all the support required, and I think that there you have always had a deficiency into your support. Okay, we discussed that a few days ago. We discussed that with her, with the bridges and the passages of register. She told me, no, I want to close them. That's why I'm pushing her, because she wanted that. And now she's feeling that she can close those without losing completely her way of singing, because it was that in between us. And now she's feeling that when you work on Soffietto, simply you will find back the support. If you have done, I don't know, a flight on plane quite long, perhaps there will be one part into the appoggio that wants to push a little more. And with Soffietto you will find back the balance. Sometimes you have had, I don't know, something else, and you feel that it will stretch some other part.
Yeah.
Normally it's quite slight when you're in career. Why? Because you have your support working all the time. So it's really also useless sometimes. But if you want to sing and you're not sure, it's a good way to start to see how you react into your throat without using vocalizations. Because sometimes vocalization, they're very good, they're always good, but at the same time they give your brain a pattern to use. And I want just your singer to use. And we discussed also about Lauryn Hill in the starting of a concert. I told her, do you perceive what she's doing while she's not warm enough? Just to take care of which is the part to do, and to use also your mucoses not completely warm to give a certain kind of sound of lack of sound, of lack of pitch, which in a musical way can be quite smart and quite interesting. But there we have to choose not the brilliancy, but the other path.
Yeah.
And it was just to learn.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's what you choose also for yourself when you're warm. That's interesting. No, we do immediately Prince. The
Alright.
ones? Yeah, you feel
Try it.
hot enough.
Okay.
No, you have to enjoy, okay? Try to just enjoy. As you did with Fell in Love with a Boy. You start understanding that Forget Her, it's more technical than you thought, isn't
Yeah.
it? You start having this idea. Those are more soulful. But Forget Her is more technical. Stop it, I don't want you. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. And that's good. And she's going tomorrow to Jessie J concert.
Yeah.
She's quite excited,
Yeah.
of course. And then perhaps after
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
a jam,
Yeah.
singing a jam, could be cool
Yeah.
to use this
That'd be
energy
Yeah.
with the same thing. Just get there, just dream it, okay? And that's good. Oh.
Baby, baby, baby.
Just there. Don't look for solutions. Get there.
What's it gonna be?
No, she wants to do a performance for you. No.
Alright.
Get there.
Okay.
You don't need the performance. You have done a perfect performance.
Okay.
You can now say, okay, I'm looking for something else in here. You've gained with what you've done on Fell in Love with a Boy. Also to just look for in here. No, okay, isn't it? She made the balance like that. You can use that.
Yeah.
You can be nice to her. And to yourself also. And the public loves when you look for something more musical.
Yeah.
They really like that because they want that from you. Sometimes you have to take the risk. Take it. You've seen it quite correctly last days. That's it, you feel? That it starts singing by itself, which is good. Get there, and remain there. And enjoy it. It's a beautiful song. Just enjoy it. Yeah, that's it. Now enjoy it. It's so beautiful. Get there. Now go.
Baby, baby, baby.
And of course,
What's it gonna be?
just get back there.
Baby, baby, baby.
Even very light.
Is it him or is it me?
That's better. A second.
Don't make me waste my time.
Don't look for the voice. Look for there.
Don't make me lose my mind, baby.
And more from here.
Baby, baby, baby. Can't you stay with me tonight? Oh, baby, baby, baby. Don't my kisses please you
Is
right?
it really here?
You are so hard to find.
From here, really?
The beautiful ones, they hurt you every time. Paint a perfect picture.
In time. And with the breath.
bring to life
That's it.
a vision in one's mind.
There I want baby. Once.
Always imagine the picture. Always.
Exactly.
Every time.
Don't get back from there. Don't get back from there. Don't control what kind of sound you're doing. You're controlling too much.
If I told you, baby,
It's from here.
that I was in love with you.
No, don't do it that.
Oh, baby, baby, baby. Would that be cool? You make me so confused. The beautiful ones you always seem to lose. Baby, baby, what's it gonna be, babe? Do you want him? Or do you want me?
From here.
'Cause I want you. So I want you.
Okay, so. Do you want to try the high notes there? What did we do last days to have them? Do you remember the posture we had? Internal? Was it before the sound or after the sound here?
After.
Can't be after. Can be before or on the sound. After it's better. You don't try. Since we're not in a concert.
Yeah, before.
After.
It's
No,
better.
if you want, try, but you know, not such a great idea.
Yeah.
Someone says that to transmit knowledge is to transmit all the worst mistakes we've done. Yeah,
Yeah.
remember quite well. And after something we will not experiment again. Sincerely. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Try.
Okay.
Before, and then you go. Exactly. The classic sound is because she's done on the sound.
Oh.
Boom before. Before. No. Then you think that you have to do something. You just have to put an L. You put an L and you will be in this schiacciata position that is quite nice. Not too much before. Boom, and you go. No, don't say Lu.
Alright.
Say, put a slight L in the hole you have, and you like there. No, before, not on. No, you're putting a ooh, you're putting your changing your vocal tract. You don't have to change the vocal tract. You just put an L, and you let the throat how it is. It is not your problem what will come out. It will come out the correct vowel. You don't have to make a vowel. It's impossible there. And you will have a that's something we want to avoid.
Yeah.
So don't do something we want to avoid. Just because you can't figure out what will come out if you just put an L. You have a hole, it will come a vowel. We always have a vowel in the throat. We can't get so much close not to have a vowel. So it's sometimes it's a problem your brain puts in you as it was a problem. I have to make the vowel. No. You do that, your vocal tract is changing, you yet have a vowel.
Yeah.
And with the breathing before, it will be covered enough.
Yeah.
You can't perceive you will do that. You can't perceive. Doesn't mean it will not happen. It's a perception problem. It's not a problem. You're creating a problem that doesn't exist just because your perception doesn't tell you that there is no problem. There is no problem. So it's, I put, and I say L, a light L, a slight L. Something will sound behind. That is the vowel we want. And it's not a U. The U will have vibrato. It will be something not different from in English that slightly deform this sound. They deform their sound. Also English and American people, not only foreigners. Okay, so you don't have to be more perfect than a mother language. You must be with the same freedom of a mother language. And it doesn't say lose, it says luz in some sort, because it's the color of the note we want. So you just try. But are you really doing nothing? You're pronouncing a vowel and then you put the sound. You just have to pronounce a L. It's nearly there. Put and go. No, you want to pronounce. You stop pronouncing. You pronounce, you put the L and you make us feeling the sound, hearing the sound. It's, you put the muscles, you pronounce L. Slightly. So the sound starts. Nothing more. Stop understanding what shape you will have in here. You will have the perfect shape to do that. That it's something that you think about, you will never be able to do. It will be the breathing put in that. And you will put exactly as copertura is required, not too much. So it will seem sketch shadow. It will not be sketch shadow. It will just not be round. Round in here, is it nice or really awful? Awful. So we don't want it round. You can just make round when you change. So stop making. Because the breathing and the support will make round enough for your vocal folds. We trust just that. We don't want your vocal folds to be strained. Not you to realize that you're making a round sound. No round sound there. Not possible. Now you're trying to process in your brain. It's just doing. Tuck and you do. Tuck and you do. You haven't put before. It's not 3 years before. It's book. I sing. Why? Because it will create a mucosa wave. If you don't take that mucosa wave, you will have nothing. So it's stuck and I sing. Why? Because you don't perceive, but it's creating the sound.
Right.
So you will just have something that is producing for you the sound. It's better to use that than not to use that. It's what I call the train. We have this train passing all the time. We catch it. We don't block it and then do it again. A lot of training is about that. Because we have the perception, but since we are not doing, we don't trust the perception. The perception is something of the working of the involuntary. They're working. So we must have the perception of them working and using them working. Not just because the perception is not as voluntary, we don't trust. We don't trust if it doesn't happen all the time and it's not reliable. It's very reliable, so of course we trust. Why? Because we put more importance on reality than on perception. We create our system to stay into the perceptions if they are uncomfortable. We don't create our system to go against truth and against reality. We must be according to reality, because the reality is the only thing that will make us reliable. So it's just the uncomfort of a perception system, not of the voice. The voice has really no problems. So, tack, and you go. But you're not doing, put the hand, if you don't put the hand, you will not. It's not in the center, it's on the sides. It's where you were singing before. It's not in the center. It's not in the center. You have your hand in the center of your belly. It's on the side. Because we have abdominals, we are working with those. And you don't go.
Okay.
Don't control it, just do it, Alice. It's too soon. Boom, and you sing. Boom, and you sing. No, boom, you perceive, you sing. Boom, you sing. No, it's before. I know, in that we get all stuck. Okay? It's not on the sound, it's before. And it's nearly there. It's just a little step because she doesn't trust to get in the correct thing. Okay? We said just give me a reason. It's hard for the brain, it's not hard for the body. The body knows yet.
Yeah.
I know. It is just, but I want to control everything, that. No, sorry. You can control what it has a sense to be controlled, not something else. And also she's still not totally warm up. And I want.
Right from the start,
And you knew perfectly. I say nothing. I say nothing. Okay. Fun by yourself.
right from the start, you were a thief. Right from the start, you were a thief who stole my heart, and you were a victim. I let you see the parts of me that weren't all that pretty. With every touch, you fixed them. Now you've been talking in your sleep. Oh, things you never say to me. Oh, tell me that you had enough.
Think about the foot. You must activate the foot.
Just give me a reason.
To activate the foot, you must have the freedom to take it up. Do you have this freedom? No.
Okay.
Okay. You have to prepare before.
Things you never say to me. Oh, tell me that you've had enough of
I start preparing the foot.
Just give me a reason, just a little bit enough. Just a second when I'm broken, just bend, and we can learn to love again. It's in the stars, it's spirits in the skies on our hearts. The one I'm broken, just bend, and we can learn to love again.
So now, just a second, because in here something quite important. I told her, but it's not obvious and understandable immediately. This is a part that is a man doing. Since he's a man, it's not just that he's higher or lower than you. Of course, normally lower. Okay. But it's not that the question. The question is that their registers works in a different way as us, and in a female voice. So we must take care that we don't take the functioning of a male vocal folds while we are singing something that originally was written for a male.
Alright.
We did not have this problem in Prince. Why? Because we thought he was singing in falsetto.
Yeah.
Falsetto voice works exactly as our second register. So we can basically find exactly the same kind of, not the same color, but the same kind of functioning. Not in this case. In this case, she will risk to get back too much on the spoken thing.
Alright, yeah.
We must change the accents to give the correct expression and the correct copertura without losing it. When I told you, think about the foot. Have you heard the difference? Quite incredible. Why? Because she was not taking down everything. So she eventually was ready to do what I asked her with her foot, that she didn't know it was eventually what she was ready to let her diaphragm do that. Because if the foot can't do, the diaphragm can't do. So we don't need to do with the foot all the time, but we must internally know that this muscular chain is doing that. even if it is an undertext. So we are not really putting it clear outside. Sometimes we will do in the concerts in which we have more instruments and more pushing about others, we need to push more. And to push more, we use the foot, we use jumping, we use many things that I use in my exercises also. It's just the external, not studied very often thing of the instrument that takes all your body and sings with all your body. In here, she didn't need it. But she needed to not render impossible for her diaphragm to do something in the opposite direction. Because she's working with two things in the opposite direction. That is the problem with perception and with singing. She knows very well the direction in which she has the prevalence. She doesn't know that she has to let the other one work also, not only sometimes pushing it, without thinking in her brain that she's changing direction. If she's changing direction, she's doing the soprano. Now she must remain in mezzo, but she must have some freedom and something inside to have the opportunity and possibility and also the will and the freedom to push something else in the other direction while she's pushing in a direction. That's why very often I talk about being like drummers, the very good ones, because the other, they will push just in one direction. The others, they will have this thing together. And for us, it's even more clear that with them, much more clear, because we really push. And she felt that she was really pushing without losing her color, without getting too clear, too light, not clear. And that was correct. In here, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Am I taking some syllables in advance? Yes.
Yeah.
So you can't really put too much appoggio on the words. You must take something in advance so you will be sure that it will be the sustain. Outside, you will never perceive that you're anticipating.
Okay.
You will just perceive the correct thing. Just from the main part.
I'm sorry, I don't understand where all this is coming from. I thought
No.
that we were.
I thought. Exactly.
Okay, yeah.
It's really the opposite. It's quite strange.
I'm sorry, I don't understand where all this is coming from. I thought that we were fine. Oh, we had everything. You had us rhyme.
Here.
What again? My dear, we still have everything. And it's all in your mind. Yeah, but this is happening. You've been having real bad dreams.
The fits up.
Oh, years later close to me.
Do it.
There's nothing more than
No, push.
sheets between
Push it round. Push it round, not just in one direction.
Okay.
Go.
Just give me a reason, just a little bit
Round.
enough. Just a cycle when I'm broken, just bend. And we can learn to love again. It's in the stars.
Go round.
It's been written
Stop.
in this cause and you're not broken, just bend. And we can learn to love again.
Oh, why? Because now I want. Oh, tears that can rust. Oh, no, with the foot.
Oh, tear ducks and rust.
Exactly. And you felt that you stopped there. Yeah. Or ducks and rust.
Yeah.
Huh? No, go on.
Oh, tears and rust.
Oh, tears, ducks and rust. Okay.
Oh, tear ducks and rust.
And rust.
And rust.
And rust. And rust.
And rust.
No. On what am I working? On the supporter? Yeah, I'm making the turn.
Okay.
You just go flat. Why? I don't have to get up, you have to get higher. So if you don't start working on the supporter here, you will never have the stretching to get there. So we put the stretching where? Before the high notes, not on the high notes. That's why on the just give me a reason I want a good foot. Why? So you couldn't put too much weight. If you put too much weight, you will never get up. You will start putting a little more pressure without losing your color, but without putting all your color.
Yeah.
And then we can have all tears, ducks and rust.
Yeah.
Where higher, not where you can. Where you can, okay, but you're stuck there. We are thinking about where you want to go. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking, oh, no, I'm okay. Yeah, to be dead after. We always think what comes after.
Yeah.
Because we are creating conditions to do what was impossible. Not to be there. I will never do that. No, you can build it. What here's ducks and rust. Not down. And rust you must do as if we were going higher, not lower.
Okay.
Okay?
Just and rust.
Artier, ducks and rust.
Artier, ducks and rust.
You're really going higher on rust. You're sleeping. Okay?
Artier, ducks and rust.
Artier, ducks and rust. I can't leave that. It's not a necessity. You have to create the necessity. Because it will never tell you that you have this necessity. You will just be stuck after. So you will not have the necessity, you will not have the sounds, you will not have the pitches, you will not have the notes. We are all the time doing things that nothing inside us gives us as a necessity to do. We create those necessities. This is technique.
Yeah.
Technique is, how the hell she can do that? It's impossible. What the hell am I working? Where you don't think I need to go to work. So after it's happiness. Go.
Okay.
Now, it is before the foot and after the sound, as always. It's before the foot, it starts the foot and then you go. No. You start with the foot and then you go. It's always before, adds the breathing.
And rest.
And rust your slip.
I don't know why.
It's not why. You have to push. You don't need a why. You don't need a why. It's just like that.
Okay.
It's like what the breathing before. You will never understand it. Or perhaps you will understand in 20 years. So you don't do it just because you don't understand. And you will sing badly. You sing well. Why? You don't need to understand why. You just need to understand that you have to do.
Yeah.
It's like the answer in the PC. You probably don't know why you use it. Why? Because you want to use it. You want to sing, so you don't mind why. You don't have to get to be a mechanician. You want to be a singer. To be a singer, you have to sing better. If you find something that is logical and someone has understood, but not so many, and it's required, and we say that it works, and it works really well, it's reliable, you just do. Why? Because you just do, you want to sing better. Why? Because you want to sing better. So, and rust. Nothing inside you will never tell you that you have to. You will do it. Exactly. And you felt that it becomes smaller into the throat.
Yeah.
Without that smaller, you can't go higher. Because it is the point to arrive and to start the other segments. It's to prepare the segment to get upper. We are collecting dust. From where you arrived in dust. In rust, sorry. Go.
Okay.
No, you didn't start from there.
Okay.
Try. That's it.
We are collecting dust.
Exactly. And you remain there.
Okay.
But I want also, but I love it's enough. But don't try to too much pronounce the ah. Okay, remain in where you were.
All right. Okay.
No, not try to get back, to get down lower into the throat. No, I want before we are collecting dust. You can't do it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Something like that. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
No, don't take down.
We are collecting dust, but our love is.
But our you come from before. But alas enough. It's that the note because it comes from before. Don't think that you have to take this note by pushing. That's segments. You do that and you have the notes. You go on and you have the others. You want to push, you remain here. You remain here, you will never have them. And never means never. Because your system is good and it doesn't want to scream. So don't think here where you have to arrive. You do and you get there. There you have the notes. They are not notes, they are segments of shaping of posture internal. They are not notes. You don't get higher. You just do other frequencies. Come here that we don't see you.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry. Again. Then I will have the other one. Yeah. We have the last 5 minutes.
Okay.
Don't take down to be sure. You don't have to be sure. You have to build wisely. Don't not to be sure.
We're collecting dust, but
I love it's enough. Since you don't find it in your throat, you don't want to sing. It's there ready. Because it's one of the overtones we have there, so they are ready into the throat. No, you want to remain with butt, with all the tension of butt behind in your back. You will never have it. No, it's your system that is wrong. It's not the note. If you can't reach the we are collecting as before, because you're pushing, but you want that butt. It's not it. Okay.
we're collecting dust, but
Dust, but
okay.
no, I don't want this weird.
We're collecting dust, but I love is, but I love is.
But Allah's enough.
We're collecting dust, but I love is enough.
But I love's enough. There is not is. There is not is. But Allah's enough. There is not is. It's another way to push and to put appoggio. There is not is because she can't put an appoggio there. She will not get on enough. Okay? So don't put is just to put some muscles because it's not a thing of the ear that you don't understand. It's a thing of the instrument. You want to appoggiare to do enough. You don't need to appoggia. There. Don't change. We are collecting dust.
We're collecting dust, but love's enough.
I know it is where we needed to get to dust. You're pouring a drink. No, where you arrived it with dust. With enough. Sorry.
You're pouring a drink.
Starts being, yeah. We're dying, no. Was it absurd? Yeah. Was it, I don't know from where it comes? It's diaphragm. Okay?
Right.
Without all the rest, taking it impossible to do. This is diaphragm. It is very logical. We have to build it. That's why I was asking you before, why I have to do this in that way to arrive to have that. And it will come better and better and better. You will show that you will never have that. You sing one of your songs and I leave you alone.
Without the mic.
With the mic.
With the mic. Alright.
And you want or what you want.
Yeah, I'll play a short one. So.
You do what you want. Also not entire.
What?
Also not entire.
Oh, okay.
Just a part of one. The one you want.
Alright.
You are the most beautiful thing that happened in my life that ever can be mine.
And so back again. That's it.
Alright.
It starts back again. No. And that's it.
And I see you in my mind, like a photograph. I'm scared you'll disappear, scared you'll disappear, scared you'll disappear. With my do 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 babe, my do 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 do, my dear ones. With my do 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 babe, my do 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 do, my dear ones. You are the most beautiful song that I ever wrote, but I was lost. Oh, love, I see you in my mind, like a photograph. But you don't want me after all. Yeah, you. But you don't want me after all. Yeah, you. With my do 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 babe, my do 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 do, my dear ones. With my do 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 babe, my do do babe, my dear one. I'm scared you'll despair.
Listen to the first time she did it and write to me.
Okay.